Hello, Longhorns. I'm Mia Carter, the Associate Dean of Student Affairs in COLA and a professor in the English department. I wanted to welcome you to campus today, and I thought I'd share some of my own early mistakes that I made as a student when I started university. I was really full of confidence, and I was a good reader. I was a great student. I skipped my senior year of high school. I felt ready to, go out there and conquer the world, and I was humbled very often and early. And I was typically the only black student in my English classes. One day I raised my hand to say something, and everyone in the class turned around and looked at me and like, what is she going to say? And it really freaked me out. So I was just not ready for that degree of attention. So I became a passive tourist, a kind of scholarly tourist. I did the work, I did the reading, I went to the library, I did extra work. But I did not talk in class, and I didn't start talking in class till my senior year. So, I think one of the first lessons, a really important lesson, is to learn how to get outside of your own comfort zones, meet people who are different than you, use some of your elective classes to explore unknown territory. I started to grow confident as a student when I started reading beyond the assigned work on the syllabus. I wanted to know more about the historical contexts. I wanted to know more about the politics of the day, no matter what the subject was, and that was a good thing for me. It's the way I thrived. I also learned to appreciate my own gifts. Like, I had my own politics. I was a young feminist. I was a proud Yankee. I loved nature. I was a camper. I was a jock. There were so many things that made my voice unique and my perspective unique. And I always remind my students, like, yeah, we're all reading the same things, but we're reading through the lenses of our own culture, our history. We're reading and feeling and thinking through the communities that shaped and formed us. And when we're thinking about all of the people who've shaped us and the things that we want to do in and for the world. And there's nobody exactly like the individual you, and that individual you and values and spiritual concerns, that informs your work and your research and your analysis. And that's the golden ticket, like really learning new things, being fearless, but remembering that you have your own resources. You have you, like, you are the most important resource of all. I always remind my students that questions are a form of active and significant and substantial participation. Ask a question. If there's a passage in a book that you're reading or something that you were assigned, and you don't fully understand it, can I just raise your hand and say, can we talk about this section here? I didn't fully get it. I mean, I think it took me 3 years to be able to be brave enough to do that. So I'll give you that tip now. I would also say, prize your advisors. Advisors are our partners in the learning and teaching enterprise. We have excellent advisors, and advising in the College of Liberal Arts, they can help you think about electives and what your passions are, and what kinds of things that you hope to do, how to combine majors, what kind of minors or certificate programs you might be interested in. They can give you information about undergraduate research opportunities. So advisors are really critical resources. They're your mentors, they're cheerleaders for you, and we have fantastic advisors in the College of Liberal Arts. Another tip: be proactive. Ask for help. If you hit a pile up, you have a week and there's 3 papers due, and you just can't imagine how you're going to get them all due, go and talk to the professor and say, look, I have too many assignments due this week. Can I have a little bit more time? Of course, you're in better standing for doing that if you're a known person to that professor. You're not just a name on the screen. You put your camera on in class and you participate in class. You've earned some grace. And some professors will just say, no, that's the due date and that's it. But if you're proactive and you advocate for yourself, often you can earn some flexibility and let people know, like, I want this paper to be the best that it can be, and I'm just in a crush. Can I have a little bit more time? I think you'll find often that professors will say yes. I mean, we've been there. Finally, in addition to really learning to trust your own voice, your point of view, your perspective, your experience, your identities, and all you are and what that brings to the classroom community and the learning community. It's also really important that the future needs you. The future depends on you. We have no idea at this point what the post-COVID future is going to look like. Lots of things are going to be rethought, repurposed, need rebuilding. We're not going to return to the old normal. And the new normal is going to depend on research, collaboration, invention, analysis, your commitments to equity and social justice, your attention to the differences that people of color and class and community and region are experiencing. Some people in rural regions don't have the same kind of access to healthcare. People of color are the kind of the fragility of communities of color and people who are in the lower economic classes. I think all of the fracture lines in our country are being exposed and magnified. It's your scholarly research, your thinking, your commitments and values that will be the research of the future that can help us build a better world. Fall 2020 is going to be a weird one. It is already filled with uncertainties. It's really important that we take care of each other. We practice, healthy, safe distancing, mask wearing. Everyone, including myself, is desperate to get back to the face-to-face experience of campus. There's a lot of things that we're missing. We will do the best to support you and to give you a great first year. Let's all take care of each other so we can get back on campus. Welcome to UT. Call on us for anything when you need us. We're here through different portals, but we're here to support you and to celebrate you and to see you succeed. Hook 'em.